What's up, y'all? It's TJ Top Chef. As a human being, I realize it's almost completely difficult to go your whole life without an argument. It could be online, it could be with the person you love, it could be with the person that you hate, it could be with anybody. Now, there's a lot of passive people, kind-hearted people, religious people, and sometimes an argument isn't always off of conflict or leads to conflict. Argument is not always, bad vibes. An argument is not always an anger situation. Like, I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of people that go through certain things in their life that makes them like skittish and shy, and it makes you not want to speak up on anything, and I give those people a pass. But as far as everybody else in the world, everybody gets into an argument in some kind of way. You may even argue with me that everybody gets into an argument. Argument is a part of human nature nowadays because everybody isn't going to agree with the same thing. It's like I love to argue with people, but I don't like to argue like nigga argue. I don't like to nigga argue. I don't like to get mad and argue. I like to make a point. That's mostly me. I think it's because of me being an Aquarius. It might not even be. Part of me believes that shit, and part of me is like, but it is what it is. Like, I don't know, it's just something about my personality that makes me feel like I gotta make sure. Like, I don't want to always be right. That's not me, but I said that's not me twice. I just want to make sure if there's something I really know about, or I really know what the hell I'm talking about, I really want to make sure that you know, and I don't want you to think this is an opinion. I'm telling you what it is, and that's how the arguments usually start. But it's not argument like lead to fighting and shit like that. It's just a simple, you agree with one thing, I agree with the other, and we talk it out. That's usually an argument most of the time. Now, the point of this video is to tell you guys how to avoid an argument, and I got a few ways. Some of them are cliche and some of them are common sense, and the other ones are shit you probably don't even know about. Let's go. Recognize all the possibilities. When you're talking to a person, you gotta recognize every situation or every turn or every curve that could possibly lead to an argument. Like shit like saying like,
you don't know what you're talking about,
or
I'm smarter than you, Beyonce is stupid.
Like anything that you could possibly say that you know could possibly lead to an argument, try to hold back on that or ease it in there slowly so it isn't like the hot spot of the argument or the conversation, because you don't want to make it known that you're about to try to start an argument and say some weird shit like, you're stupid, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, or
I don't even want to talk about this no more, you're a dumbass.
Some shit like that. Small stuff that leads shortly into an argument. I mean, it's pretty obvious you avoid those things to avoid an argument, but some people just don't even know that. You gotta tell them verbally that's the way to avoid an argument. Know the victim. Whoever you think you're about to get into an argument with, you better make sure you know who they are and know a lot about them, or at least know certain traits about them, because most of the time that can help you in the same way. Like if a person is sensitive about how you talk about certain politicians or something like that, don't talk about politicians. If a person is sensitive about how you talk about movies or certain characters in movies or certain topics on life, try to avoid that conversation in general. And if it comes up, try to change the subject a lot. You gotta make sure you know exactly who you're talking to. You gotta know their sensitivities. You gotta know what they like and what they feel passionate about. You gotta know everything about the person in order to avoid the argument with that person. So you know what to say and what not to say, and don't end up fucking it up in the long run. Do not project. If you don't know what projecting is, that's like throwing shit onto them. Don't tell a person they don't know what they're talking about. You're stupid. You don't understand what I'm talking about. Don't project shit onto them. Don't give them characteristics by telling them their characteristics. Don't project shit onto them. Don't throw shit onto them. You know what I mean? Not literally, not physically. Nobody should do that shit. Don't throw shit on people, but you know what I mean. Don't project. Y'all get it, man. Walk away. This is one of the most simple ways to avoid an argument. Just get the fuck out of there. Just leave that person alone. Stop talking to that person. Like, if you know you can't have a conversation with them, because I know a lot of people like this. A lot of people, sometimes you can't walk away if you like on the phone or some shit. But I know a lot of people that you just cannot hold up a conversation with them without starting an argument. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Like, I don't like those type of people, but it seems that I always have to deal with them though. Like, Because in life, everybody that you know isn't going to be the same. You know what I mean? So just, if you know that that's one of those people, like if it's one of those people that when you see them walking up to you and you feel like, oh shit, you know, just say what's up, have a friendly little conversation or some shit, and walk away. Because most of the time, depending on how you feel about that person, you may not have a good conversation with that person, and you may lead to an argument anyway. Bitch out. It's as simple as it says. You could bitch out. You could just, if it's one of those people, you know, it's a one of those people type of person for everybody. Everybody is a one of those people. I'm a one of those people. But if it's one of those people that won't end the argument, they don't want you to tell them they're wrong. They don't want you to tell them what's right and what's wrong. They just want to come in and they just want to complain to you about issues and shit like that. Just agree with them for the time being. Just to get it over with. Just bitch out. Just say, yeah, you're right, whatever. Just so you can avoid the argument and so the conversation be over faster. Because if it's a person around me telling me I'm right all the time, just giving it up, not like that, pause, bitching out all the time, I would want to end the conversation. I'd be like, okay, this dude or this girl, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. You gotta tell me I'm wrong at some point. Like everything I could, if I say it's okay for you to rob my grandparents, you know, I don't care. And they'd be like, yeah, you're right. Conversation ended just like that. Avoid them. You know the type of people to avoid. I just talked about it. If it's that person, like, say for example, not everybody can relate to this. Not everybody. There's definitely somebody watching right now that cannot relate to this. But me personally, I deal with a lot of situations where I gotta deal with that one old guy or old woman that gets drunk and gotta come talk to you like they know what the hell they're talking about when it's really the liquor or the beer talking or the alcohol talking. And then they get in your ear, in your face, and start just talking a bunch of nonsense. And mostly older people. Younger people, they just get drunk and do stupid shit. But it's usually the older people that come and get all in your ear and shit and start talking a whole bunch of nonsense that you really don't want to hear, smelling like all types of whatever. And don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing against anybody that drinks, but just don't be coming in my ear. Those are the type of people to avoid. Or people that just are broken on the inside, like they've been hurt their whole lives, so everything they say is negative. Just avoid them. Just don't be around them, because most of the time you might blow. Pause. You just might blow and say, fuck it. It's over with. Shut the fuck up. And last but not least, use I statements. If you don't know what using I statements is, I don't mean I, but I mean I, like I. You probably don't know what I mean. Use things like I, me, we. Don't say you all the time. Don't say you need to do this, you need to do that. Pointing fingers can also get your ass beat. Don't point fingers. But saying shit like that usually pumps a person up and leads them to some sort of argument most of the time. If you use shit like I, me, we, it kind of comforts a person, you know? It makes them feel like you're not projecting yourself. You know what I mean? Like say for example, you and the other person has some type of conflict. If you don't keep saying like, you did this, you were wrong when you said this, you were wrong when you said that, you should, it usually makes a person feel like, man, you just don't even understand where I'm coming from, or you're just blaming me for everything. But when you use shit like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this, I don't want you to do that, I don't think you should, like say stuff like that, it makes a person feel like you actually understand and you're not, you know, being one-sided on the argument. You're just, you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it, but y'all know what I mean. Wait, yeah, man, I usually don't do videos like this, but I'm at the point where I do what I want. It's just that simple. So one day I want to make a trifle on the camera, I'm going to make a trifle. One day I want to draw on camera, I'm going to draw on camera. If one day I want to make a fucking skateboarding video, I'm going to make a skateboarding video. If one day I want to do a tutorial on how to get free Photoshop, it's like, nah, I just play it. But I do what I want on my channel, and y'all already know that. So if y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know some different types of ways you can avoid an argument in the comment section below if you have any. And let me know if any of these have ever worked for you. Let me know if they do work for you. And yeah, man.